I'm just looking around this room right now, and I think there are about 23 different things that could kill me. What's up? My name is John, and this is Cinema Saturday. Today, I have a review for Final Destination, Bloodlines. I know, I'm late, but hey, I'm finally talking about it, so let's get to it. This movie is about a family that realizes that their bloodline is in jeopardy because the grandmother of the family should have died in some horrific, tragic accidents years and years ago. But Final Destination style, she has a premonition, a vision, sees it unfolding before it starts, stops it, and now she gets to live the rest of her life. Or so she thought, because in Final Destination, death is always coming. No one can escape death. And he's been making his way down the line, and he finally got back to her. And now her whole family, which is pretty much our main cast, her family is now, because we jumped to the future, so now her main family is trying to figure out what's happening. And now death is coming for their entire lineage because none of them should have been born. And of course, hijinks ensue. I honestly thought this movie was pretty great. It was a fun time the whole way through. Especially since nowadays horror movies really have a slow burn to them. This one didn't really have a slow burn. Maybe no, I'm not even gonna say it had a little bit of a slow burn. I'm like, there was like 5 minutes of like people talking real like, come on now, let's get to the kills. But no, it wasn't really a slow burn. I think once we really get started, it takes off. The opening sequence probably happens within the first 20 minutes, which it seems a little long. Maybe it's not that long, but it definitely felt a little bit longer for an opening than usual. But I appreciated the build up for the characters to realize what's going on and see how happy these people are, how much of a good time they're having in this restaurant in the sky, all for it to come crashing down in a horrific fashion with no survivors. It was pretty great. I don't want to spoil anything. I doubt I'll make a spoiler video, but it was fun. All the kills were fun. One person who deserved it, at least us in the audience felt like he deserved it. He got his end too. That was like that was a nice moment. But the opening was very good. I want to talk about the main actress. I know her from Stargirl. I've seen all of DC's Stargirl, and I think she is fantastic. I thought she was fantastic on Stargirl, and she still brings her charm and likability and kind of a tough girl spirit to this role too. So I'm glad this is the first time I've seen her in a major motion picture, so I'm very happy and excited to see where her career goes. She did really good. Kudos to her. I also enjoyed the fact that the opening was a period piece, setting it back in time to like the 1950s, 1960s. So it was like, oh, well, we can do a lot of, now that you open that door, Final Destination, we can do a lot of Final Destinations like throughout all of time, right? Like literally all of time. Like we can go back, I wouldn't go back to Bible periods, but think about in like a ancient Greek Final Destination. A Final Destination set in the Great Depression where everyone thought people were killing themselves, but no. It was just death coming after all of them. I like that. You're welcome. You're welcome for that one. But I love that it was a period piece and that there's so much more to explore now with Bloodlines. We could really have kind of spin-off, I don't want to say franchises or series because it's all Final Destination. Because there's only one villain or one antagonist here. But I think that would be really cool to have Final Destination in the 90s, in the 80s, in the 70s, in the 30s, 20s, Great Depression. Maybe we'll find the origin of how these premonitions and these visions started, which could have been, back in the 1880s. Who knows? But I'm excited for whatever Final Destination does next. Of course, in classic horror movie fashion, there are lots of kills, and they're pretty gory. I will say that I feel like we're moving into this new age of technology, and that kills don't feel necessarily the same anymore. I mean, they look cool when they're computer generated images, but there's nothing like seeing some mannequin head filled with whatever the production crew decided to fill it with, and then watch it get smashed and see real things go flying in real places. I feel like that gives horror movies like a slighter edge to practicality of it. And so while this was a lot of CGI, and I think they tried to be practical where they could, it didn't have much of an impact. But visually, just looking at them, they were pretty good. Pretty much all the kills are pretty good. Is there one I didn't like? No. Maybe like one or two. Maybe because they were just so fast. They happened so fast. There wasn't really much of a build up to it. It just was like, and you're dead. It's like, oh. I mean, I didn't want them to suffer, but I thought that how they died would be at least a little bit cooler than that. But most of the kills here are pretty good. The deaths. Some of them are actually pretty funny. And this movie is surprisingly funny. Well, I would almost put this in the horror comedy genre because it leans into its zaniness and what's happening, but it takes itself seriously enough for you to also take it seriously. So it's having fun with the lore and what happens in the Final Destination universe, while also being a fun thrill ride that, you throw this on and you're just going to have a good time watching it. And that's what I did. I had a good time watching it. A lot of the characters in this movie are downright forgettable. There's really, even the main lead, who she didn't do a bad job-wise with acting or character or anything like that. It's just maybe she was kind of written as a Mary Sue. She was kind of bland, so anybody could be like implant themselves and, well, that's not, no, we're not even going to finish that one. We're not going to finish that one. The audience could understand it from her perspective as we go along with this journey with her, learning all the things that she does. But she doesn't pop off the screen. She doesn't scream lead character actress to me. She screams strong supporting, maybe. For me, the best character in the movie was that guy. He was very good. All the scenes that he were in were pretty funny. There's even a little bit of a twist that happens with him, and it's kind of funny as well. And I think he delivered all his lines very well. He knew what project he was in. It was great. He did a great job. Yeah, no one else really stands out in this movie except Stargirl and the cousin. Those are my favorites. They both did fantastic. Everybody else kind of just serves the project, but they don't really add to it. So, that all being said, I'm going to give Final Destination a good old 8. I know. It's that good. It has, I think, some good rewatchability factor to it. I had a good time watching it. And while all the characters aren't so memorable, the ones that are really make up for the movie. And, it's just a good time. It's just a good time. I would say you don't have to manage expectations. You didn't have to see this in the theater. I thought it was in Big D. Still a bit scream. And it was intense. But it was fun. I had a good time. If you want to have fun with the movie, Final Destination Bloodlines is not a bad choice. Alright, so that's my review for Final Destination Bloodlines. My name is John. Thank you for watching Cinema Saturday. And as always, have a good one.